France 24's Clovis Casali is covering the day's political action from the Élysée Palace in Paris. I believe that we have him now. Clovis, we just heard from Marine Le Pen there before. It sounds like the National Rally are planning to make life difficult for Emmanuel Macron.
Absolutely. The National Rally, Marine Le Pen and Jordan Bardella were here minutes ago and made it very clear they refuse to back a left-wing government. They refuse to see a left-wing prime minister appointed by President Macron. Bear in mind, they have 126 MPs in parliament, so they have significant weight. And they say the situation, the paralysis, the chaos, as they call it, has been caused by President Macron. He's the one to blame for it. And therefore, one solution would be a referendum. In other words, they want the French Prime Minister, the French President out. Of course, that's very unlikely for us to see a referendum here in France. But the far-right party, the National Rally, also said that there's a need to fight immigration, to be tougher on immigration and security, and therefore a left-wing government would be unacceptable for them and for their voters, and that's why they oppose that. It is making life difficult for French President Emmanuel Macron, who knows he needs to break the deadlock, bring some much-needed clarity to French politics, with the people wanting, of course, a new prime minister.
When, Clovis, might we know who Macron is planning to name for prime minister?
Well, it's very difficult to know because the Élysée keeps saying it all depends on the results of these talks, on the content, whether or not there's a consensus over a name, if a coalition government is formed and if it's backed by various political parties, because no political party here in France holds an outright majority in parliament. And that's why you need negotiations, alliances between parties like the left wing and the centrist bloc of President Macron. Opponents, of course, will they come together for this moment, reach a consensus on a name? It's very difficult. There were some sources saying that President Macron might talk tonight, maybe tomorrow. He will only talk if he really has a solution to offer to give to the French people, a name much needed. If we look at the schedule of the French president, well, it's pretty busy this week. Wednesday, Paralympics starting here in France. And then on Thursday, he's off to Serbia for a visit. So, of course, he's urged to find a solution and a name very quickly.
All right, Clovis Casali covering the political action at the Élysée Palace for us. We'll have more from him later, no doubt.